Have you ever felt abandoned, even when surrounded by those you love most? And if you had the chance to take revenge by building your own dreams, what would you do? Your support is key to keep creating amazing content. 90% of our audience hasn't subscribed yet. Help us out. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay tuned, because what's coming next will surprise you with an incredible twist. As I sat at our mahogany dining table, college acceptance letters scattered around me, I felt the sharp sting of true betrayal pierce my heart. Harvard, Stanford, MIT. Their esteemed letterheads lay before me, a haunting reminder of dreams slipping away. My hands shook, clutching the latest letter from Princeton, their words of congratulations fading into a blur of tears. Mom, Dad, I made it. I made it into Princeton. My voice reverberated in the vastness of our Victorian home, a silent witness to 3 generations of the Montgomery family's triumphs. My mother's heels echoed on the hardwood, her face a mask of unreadable emotions. His footsteps echoed behind her, once bold and sure, now laced with uncertainty. That's wonderful, Catherine, my mother said, but her voice was flat, devoid of the thrill I had hoped for. Her eyes met my father's, who swallowed hard and loosened his silk tie. Kathy, take a seat. We have something important to discuss. I collapsed into my chair, the acceptance letters gripped tightly in my hands. Their presence coiled around my insides, tightening with each passing moment. Your brother, William, my father started. His tech startup is bursting with potential. His prototype might change everything for renewable energy storage. He stopped, fingers trembling as he fixed his glasses. He desperately requires substantial funding to elevate it further. My mother moved closer, our manicured fingers brushing the table's edge. We've chosen to pour our resources into his company. This chance could change everything, ensuring the family's legacy endures for years to come. That's great, I said, but doubt tinged my words. What will happen to my college tuition? The fund you've nurtured since my first breath? The silence hung heavy, a suffocating force on my chest. Catherine, my father declared, using my full name. Never a good omen. Your college fund will now support William's venture. This is what the family needs most. The world spun, teetering on the brink. What did you say? That was my money. You swore it. Catherine, think of others. My mother interrupted, her voice slicing through the air. William's project holds the potential for millions. Consider student loans like others, or perhaps explore a local community college for a couple of years. I gazed at them, the ones who nurtured me, who endlessly championed education, who devoted years to fueling my Ivy League aspirations. They stood before me, shattering my dreams for my brother's sake. Once more, William was their shining star. He was 4 years my senior, leaving college behind to chase his entrepreneurial dreams. As I excelled in high school, achieving a flawless GPA, leading as class president, and triumphing in national science competitions, William floundered, each failed startup drawing our parents deeper into his web of hope and disappointment. What's the cost? I pleaded. My voice was a fragile breath. What is happening? My father's brow furrowed. What part of my college fund did you hand over to him? My mother squirmed in her seat. Everything. The entire $289,000. The number struck me with the force of a punch. Almost $300,000. Vanished. Each birthday, a check arrives from the grandparents, a reminder of love and connection. Each summer, a chance to earn. Each penny, a step toward my future. Given to William in an instant, no hesitation. I shot up, my chair crashing to the floor behind me. Did you even think to ask me? This is my money. Catherine Margaret Montgomery. My father's voice thundered in the dining room. That's it. This choice is irrevocable. William's project demands this investment. As family, your support is crucial for the greater good. Is this truly for all? I laughed, but it sounded more like a cry. Is it truly best for William? Your brother sees things, my mother said, her voice tight with emotion. He perceives what remains hidden to others. At times, it requires daring leaps. My future hangs by a thread. I yelled, the sound shocking even me. What will become of my vision? What chances do I have? My father's expression turned to stone. If you fail to grasp the significance of backing your family's passions, maybe your maturity is not what we believed it to be. Retreat to your room until you can approach this with reason. At 18, I was banished to my room, a child silenced for resisting the theft of my future. In that instant, everything within me changed. A profound shift in my perception of family, my role within it, and the urgent steps I must take moving forward. I turned away, footsteps heavy as I ascended to my room. Instead of crumbling into tears on my bed, I grabbed my biggest backpack and started to pack. Clothes, my laptop, an unused emergency credit card, and crucially, my documents, birth certificate, social security card, passport. My hands worked with precision, while a surprising clarity pierced through the storm of emotions within me. I pulled out the $200 from my sock drawer, the savings from my last tutoring sessions. I hadn't touched it for my college fund. It was meant for Princeton gear, a dream I held close. Now, it would take on a new meaning. As I packed, memories surged, each one a sharp pang of emotion. William's first venture collapsed. A pet social media platform devoured $50,000 of our parents' savings. His second attempt, a cryptocurrency that crumbled in just 3 months. Every setback came with a push, a hand to hold, and fresh resources, all while I was urged to stay grounded in my aspirations. The doorbell's chime shattered my reverie. William's Tesla glided into the driveway, a silent harbinger of change. He was here, no doubt ready to grab his latest handout. Their voices echoed from below, haunting and close. William's laugh ignites joy. My mother's voice wraps me in warmth. My father's pride resonates deep within. A flawless family scene, marred only by their flawless son and his relentless pleas for more cash. With a heavy heart, I opened my laptop for the final time and typed out 2 emails. The first to Princeton. Dear Admissions Committee, it is with a heavy heart that I must turn down your offer of admission. Unexpected financial troubles have shattered my dreams of attending Princeton University this fall. Grateful for this chance. With heartfelt sincerity, Catherine Montgomery. The second email reached my parents. Mom and Dad, you chose your path. Now, it's my turn to choose mine. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. I'll carve my own path, free from the weight of family wealth or legacy. Catherine. I pressed send and yanked the battery from my phone. From downstairs, William's voice soared, his excitement palpable as he unveiled his groundbreaking technology. In his realm of dreams, $289,000 was merely a number, a fleeting step toward his envisioned triumph. That was it for me. Slinging my backpack over my shoulder, I cast one last glance at the debate team trophies, the science fair medals, the honor roll certificates, remnants of a life lived for the approval of parents who would forever favor William. I descended the trellis outside my window, a daring act I hadn't attempted since I was 14. My feet touched the earth gently, and without a glance back, I left the Montgomery family estate behind. $200 sat heavy in my pocket. My mind echoed with years of perfect grades and relentless success. A fierce fire ignited within me, driving me to show them their greatest error. 10 years later, I found myself in a corporate boardroom, facing them as they pitched their crumbling company to investors. They had no idea their last hope for salvation sat right in front of them, the daughter they had so easily dismissed. Yet, that chapter would unfold in time. Initially, I had to create from the void. I had to transform into the unexpected, shedding the image of the practical daughter they knew. Each step from my childhood home fueled my determination. They were ready to risk it all for William. All right, I'll stake it all on me. I could do it without their $289,000. Freedom's first night was bitter, a blend of cheap coffee and raw desperation. I lingered in a dim diner on Boston's edge, the clock ticking relentlessly. My backpack pressed firmly beneath me as I stared at my phone, its battery fading away. Just before the darkness swallowed everything, I caught sight of 17 missed calls from my mother, 5 from my father, and a single text from William. Kathy, no need for theatrics. Return to me. I ordered another coffee, my last bills laid bare on the cold laminate table. $178.42. The bus ticket from Connecticut stung more than anticipated. Another cup, love? Monica, the waitress, had kind eyes and a name tag adorned with 5 gold stars. Thanks, I said, but then I paused, uncertainty gripping me. Is there an opening? Her gaze swept across me. Immaculate interview attire, a high-end laptop, the unmistakable markers of a privileged child escaping reality. Yet, something in my gaze seemed to resonate with her, halting her instinct to turn away. "Help in the kitchen," she finally admitted. 6 to 2, bare minimum, tips shared. "Begin tomorrow if you wish." Relief surged within me as I nodded. "I'll always be here." She jotted down, "There's a motel down the street. Let Jimmy know Monica sent you. He'll share the weekly rate with you." In a dim motel room, heavy with the stench of stale cigarettes and harsh cleaners, I flipped open my laptop and started to plot. The Princeton acceptance letter lay in my bag, a haunting echo of the future now snatched away. As I gazed at it, a spark ignited within me. I spent my high school years guiding privileged students through the complexities of advanced math and science. Their parents invested heavily in my services, driven by the results I delivered. Flawless SAT scores, soaring GPAs, early college acceptances. I had always viewed it as a means to fund my college dreams. Now, I recognized it as the spark for something monumental. I opened a new document and started to type. Premier academic consulting, expert tutoring, and college admissions guidance led by a Princeton-accepted scholar. I toiled through the night, crafting a website, pouring my heart into every line of code learned from AP Computer Science. By dawn, I had forged sleek business cards at a relentless print shop, pouring $50 of my hard-earned savings into the endeavor. The next 6 months became a relentless cycle. At dawn, until 2 p.m., I poured my heart into the diner, absorbing every detail of the business. Monica had held the reins of this place for 2 decades. She opened my eyes to inventory management, staff scheduling, and, above all, the art of reading people. Starting at 3 p.m. until 9 p.m., I poured my heart into building my tutoring business. A diner regular caught my moment of tutoring Monica's daughter in calculus, and just like that, my first client emerged. Whispers raced through the affluent neighborhoods of Boston. A young tutor, accepted into Princeton but deferring, possessed the rare gift of clarity, promising undeniable results. My true last name remained unspoken. Catherine Montgomery transformed into Kate Morgan, and my clients accepted it without hesitation. Results mattered, not lineage. By the 3rd month, tutoring had become my lifeline, allowing me to leave the diner behind, yet I still found time to support Monica with her studies on weekends. She transformed into a blend of friend and mentor, imparting business wisdom far beyond any Ivy League classroom. "You're good with numbers," she said one Sunday, her eyes fixed on me as I transformed her inventory system. "Yet you connect with others effortlessly. That's where fortunes are forged." She was absolutely right. My tutoring clients sought more than just academic assistance. They were investing in belief, in dreams, in a future their children yearned for. I felt it deep within me. While reviewing a student's college essay, a casual remark from his mother shifted everything. "If only you could be in 2 places at once. Every parent in Boston would choose you." Sleep eluded me that night. Duplicate my essence? Absolutely not. Yet I could rise. I connected with exceptional students who gained admission to elite colleges, yet opted for gap years. Brilliance often goes hand in hand with desperation, just like my own struggle. I made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Join my brand, embrace my methods, and take home 70% of the fees as I drive marketing and client acquisition. In just 2 months, elite academic consulting surged to 10 tutors. In just 6 months, we established offices in Boston, Newark, and Greenwich, Connecticut. I steered clear of my family's social circle, yet the first million arrived quicker than anticipated, born from my tutoring venture and savvy tech stock investments. I lived simply, investing every extra cent into growth. As William likely squandered my college fund on yet another fleeting dream, I was crafting something enduring. I realized tutoring was merely the first step. Whispers of opportunity reached me through my affluent clients, startups hungry for funding, established firms craving new insights. I absorbed every word, grasped the lessons, and above all I strategized. In a pivotal tutoring session, everything changed with Emma Chun, daughter of the powerful Michael Chun. While guiding her through advanced economics, my gaze fell upon the open investment prospectus for Chun Tech Solutions, resting on his home office desk. "Dad's anxious," Emma opened up during our brief pause. "The energy storage project is crumbling. yet he can't walk away after pouring so much in. Energy storage, akin to Williams' so-called groundbreaking innovation. That night, I dove deep into Chintech's project. By morning, two truths pierced through the darkness. From the start, their method was deeply misguided. And then, I realized I could make it right. 3 weeks. Every connection I had forged through tutoring led me to this moment with Michael Chun. As I faced him in his corner office, a flicker of amusement danced in his eyes. "Miss Morgan," he said, "my daughter holds you in great esteem. What gives you the right to claim you understand energy storage technology?" I flipped open my laptop, heart racing, and dove into my presentation. 4 hours later, his smile had vanished. He was extending a partnership to me. "A 30% stake," he declared, "if you can truly deliver on your promises." I responded with 40% and complete authority over the technical development. He nodded, a silent pact forged in the air. 6 months later, Chintech's energy storage system transformed the industry forever. I had built the technology William dreamed of, though under a different name and company. My net worth soared to 9 figures in an instant. But I had more to say. With Chintech's triumph as my launch pad, I dove into acquiring faltering tech firms, especially in the energy realm. Every acquisition unfolded through shadowy shell companies and holding firms, meticulously shielding Catherine Morgan's name from the expanding empire. I assembled the finest lawyers and accountants to weave a complex web of corporations, all tracing back to Morgan Enterprises, my secret empire. To everyone else, Morgan Enterprises was led by a mysterious CEO, a ghost in the corporate world, shunning interviews and public appearances. Time slipped away. My empire expanded. I fled from Boston to New York, then to Silicon Valley, evading every possible meeting with my family. I watched them closely, hidden in the shadows. William's failures piled up, each one draining my parents' fading support. The Montgomery family's legacy, painstakingly amassed over generations, was crumbling under the weight of their unwavering trust in their son. One morning in my San Francisco penthouse office, my assistant delivered news that would change everything. "Montgomery Technologies seeks investors," she said, dropping the report on my desk. "They're teetering on the brink of financial ruin. Your father faces potential buyers next week." I grabbed the report, a smile teasing my lips. After a decade, the cycle had completed its haunting return. "Set the meeting," I demanded. "Just make sure to use the Morgan Enterprises letterhead. Will they see the daughter they discarded?" The moment had arrived to reveal the transformation of their once practical daughter. The Montgomery Technologies building stood unchanged for a decade. The granite facade loomed, gold lettering glinted, and the security guard remained lost in his crossword, oblivious. Now, as I stepped through the revolving doors in my Armani suit, I was no longer the teenage girl they had so easily dismissed. "Miss Morgan," a young assistant rushed ahead. "The board awaits in the main conference room. Can I take your coat?" I offered her my coat, a smile barely contained. My mother believed that real power wore designer labels. Today, I donned an outfit that could have resurrected one of William's lost dreams. "Want coffee?" the assistant inquired. "Green tea," I said, recalling my mother's teasing about my choice of tea over coffee. "Perfectly timed brew. Nothing sweet." The elevator ascended, a brief moment to gather my thoughts. This was the culmination of a decade's worth of sacrifice. With a web of shell companies and hidden investments, I had meticulously gathered Montgomery Technologies' debt, becoming their sole lifeline, their future now resting in my grip. The conference room door swung open, unveiling a sight that nearly sparked laughter within me. My father, Richard Montgomery, commanded the head of the table, but that throne was destined for me. My mother, Margaret, sat beside him, her flawless posture revealing her inner turmoil. William, my dear brother, had squandered my college fund and a chunk of our family fortune, slouched in his chair, lost in his phone. "Miss Morgan," my father rose, hand outstretched. "Grateful for your presence." Whispers of Morgan Enterprises echo with intrigue. I gripped his hand tightly, feeling the faint quiver in his hold. Richard Montgomery felt a surge of anxiety. "Excellent. Text," I urged him to take a seat. "We need to talk about our purpose." For the next hour, I was captivated by their account of Montgomery Technologies' current predicament. The company was on the brink, requiring a $50 million lifeline to survive. Their stock had crashed by 70% in just 3 months. William's latest venture, a bold attempt at revolutionary energy storage, had depleted their last reserves. With the right investment, my father insisted, his voice echoing the same persuasive urgency he'd used to ground my dreams, Montgomery Technologies could rise again. I flipped open my laptop, revealing a cascade of graphs on the conference room screen. Your company's fall started about a decade ago, I remarked, observing their expressions closely, aligning with a string of intriguing investment choices. William squirmed, tension crackling in the air. My mother's flawless fingers tapped anxiously on the table. We embraced risks, my father insisted. Deliberate. I arched an eyebrow. Investing $289,000 in an untested energy storage idea. Silence enveloped the room. The stolen college funds figure loomed, a silent accusation that pierced the silence. What did you do? William hesitated, then pulled back. I approached the window, gazing down at the city below. Speak, Mr. Montgomery. What do you consider your greatest business blunder? My father's throat tightened. Maybe rushing into some markets too fast. Absolutely not. I interrupted, spinning to confront them. Your greatest error was believing that, a decade ago, she would simply accept your choice and disappear into the shadows. My mother's face went pale. William's phone crashed onto the table. My father's face went still, realization washing over him. Catherine, a smile broke free, the moment electric. Hey, Dad. Mother. Will. Time has passed. This can't be happening, William gasped. Who are you? So, you're Catherine Morgan? Catherine Montgomery Morgan, my new name, my new identity. I settled back, savoring their stunned faces. But you would have known if you had taken the time to find me over the last decade. My mother discovered her voice first. My love, we searched for you everywhere. Absolutely not. I severed our connection. You called for a few weeks, but then you thought I was just being dramatic, convinced I'd return when my funds ran dry. My gaze locked onto William. What happened with that energy storage technology? The one you took my college fund for? His face burned with embarrassment. Complications arose, unforeseen and intense. Hilarious. I cut in once more, bringing up another presentation. Tech Solutions, a subsidiary of Morgan Enterprise, has tackled those complications with remarkable success. I revealed the schematics of the energy storage system I had a hand in creating. The one that brought me my first billion. My father's instincts surged to life. Who are you? Do you own Tech? Amidst it all, I started to display the companies on the screen. Tech Solutions, Premier Academic Guidance, Morgan Global Ventures. Last month, nearly 40% of Montgomery Technologies' debt loomed large. Chaos engulfed the room. William leaped, his chair crashing to the floor. My mother covered her face with trembling hands. My father stood frozen, watching his world collapse around him. Why this pain? At last, he asked. Why not reveal your true self? I leaned in, locking eyes with him. You had to confront the truth of who you really are. Not like parents confronting their daughter. Yet here we are, struggling, confronted by someone whose success eclipses our wildest dreams. What do you desire? William insisted. Retribution. I laughed, a fleeting spark of joy in the silence. Retribution. Brother, if revenge was my aim, I would have taken this company 6 months back and dismissed you all without a second thought. I stood, adjusting my suit with a tense resolve. Absolutely not. I need to mend what you shattered. What does it signify? My mother whispered. I'm stepping in to rescue Montgomery Technologies' entire debt restructuring, capital infusion, and tech alliance with Tech Solutions. I stopped, absorbing the weight of it. Conditions apply. My father's facade returned, cold and unyielding. What are the terms? William is gone. All positions filled. Investment in his ventures has ceased. Stop wasting precious resources. William opened his mouth to argue, but my father's gaze cut him off, fierce and unyielding. Next, you and Mom step back, Dad. The company craves fresh leadership, not a blind loyalty to past failures. Then my mother asked. Her voice was a fragile breath. A smile broke through, a flicker of light in the darkness. You all know that sending me away was the greatest gift you ever gave me. I forged my path alone, free from the Montgomery name, the family ties, and your wealth. A heavy silence enveloped the room. My father gazed at the empire I had forged, illuminated on the screen behind me. My mother's eyes brimmed with tears. Was it pride or regret? I couldn't decipher. William sank into his chair, the weight of his sister's triumph crashing down on him, a stark reminder of his own failures. Is it a deal? I asked, the answer already echoing in my mind. My father nodded, a heavy silence hanging between us. We certainly do, Miss Morgan. Excellent. I clutched my belongings, ready to walk away. The papers will be ready by tomorrow. Mom. I hesitated at the threshold. The community college you mentioned. Now, they stand as one of my foundation's greatest beneficiaries. Practical choices can spark remarkable outcomes. I stepped out of the conference room, heart racing. From the structure that once symbolized all I yearned for. Into the waiting car I went, where Monica, my first boss and now the COO, awaited. What happened? She handed me a cup of green tea, her eyes searching mine. Just as I intended, I said, sipping slowly. I believe the diner story is best left out of the official company history. Her laughter echoed, a fleeting spark of joy. Is this really what you want? Rescuing their company against all odds. I glanced back at the Montgomery Technologies building, remembering the frightened 18-year-old Coro who had stepped away from home with only $200 and a fierce resolve to make her mark. Do you know what I discovered in that diner, Monica? Sometimes, true revenge lies not in tearing down what others have created. It's creating something monumental, compelling them to confront their own failures. Did they? A smile crept across my face as I envisioned my father's shock, my mother's tears, and the moment of William's downfall. They will. No doubt. Each glance at the new company letterhead, Montgomery Morgan Technologies, echoes the legacy of the Montgomery name. Absolutely, I replied, flipping open my laptop to dive into the markets. I made a vow to stand by the family business, no matter what. I finally took the leap, and it was all me. Driving through the city, past towering skyscrapers that once felt unattainable, I clutched the acceptance letter to Princeton, still untouched in my office, a bittersweet reminder of dreams and distance. I hung it next to my first business license, my first $1 million contract, and a humble name tag that said Kate, server, from a 24-hour diner. The future you create for yourself can outshine any plan made for you. Each dollar counts. One dream, one heartbeat. Each win, a heartbeat closer. Sometimes, just sometimes, $200 and unshakable self-belief outweighs all the riches of the world. If this story impacted you, wait until you see the one I have for you next. It's even more impressive. But before we continue, if you enjoy real stories like this, subscribe now and let me know your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in this situation?